What's going on, guys? It's DeeO here with Return of DeeO Gaming and Real Life Riding here on YouTube, and this is just one of my series of strictly laps. Usually I don't commentate over these, it's just a video of doing a few laps, GoPro footage, you know, 3 or 4 laps, whatever. You'll see if you've never seen one of these videos before, but this one I decided to commentate over because I know in the past people have really enjoyed when I do that, so hopefully this will be the same. But I pulled on behind a Suzuki here that's a local racer. His name is Jeremy, but he's a really fast guy. He's older, he has a son and everything now. I'm not sure exactly which class he races, but he's got to be an A-class rider, expert level. I don't know what all the age groups are, you know, and I don't want to disrespect him by saying vet or 40 plus. I truly don't know how old he is. All I know is he is quick. He can still give our local pros, you know, like the 18 to 24, whatever, 25-year-olds, runs for their money. He's definitely a very fast rider, and I wasn't even meaning to. That was a pretty sweet line there, and then almost land on that guy. A little sketchy, but at least it didn't happen. But I felt like I at least gave him somewhat of a run for his money. I stayed pretty close to him, and I was really happy with that. He had done a few laps before this. I'm not sure exactly how many, of course. I didn't say anything to him about it, but so I don't know. I don't want to make myself sound better than I am or anything, but he definitely was already a little fatigued, and then I start running him down. So whatever, though. I think I put together some really good laps. You saw earlier in the lap before one of the small tabletops, I had a pretty crappy line, and then right here, I totally flubbed this. What am I even doing? But pretty much the rest of the laps, I hit it pretty good. I was really happy with myself. The track was starting to deteriorate by this point, getting more braking bumps, and I don't really want to call it rough, but it was semi-rough for Aztec, and I know that Aztec is an easy track, a very smooth track. I'm not doubting that one bit, but it was kind of dry, dusty, a little bit hag. Definitely been worse before. You can see I started taking that outside line there, and I feel like that's a much better line. This one a little sketchy. If you watch my video with yellow, you saw me actually fall down goofing around with that line. I like to take the inside. The outside line just gets blown out really bad, but really bad line through there again. Maybe next lap I actually hit the middle line and rail that rut pretty well. For the most part, though, it's just hitting the same lines every time and just trying to be smooth. That's one of my issues, is whenever I'm trying to hound someone or I have a faster guy on me that's trying to push me, like one of my buddies, like Brandon, you've seen in the past, if he's trying to push me, I start to turn into a squid and I can't hit my lines and I flub out of corners, and you've already seen me do it a few times in this video, but I start to get focused and actually hit my lines, and I was like one of the only people taking that line. The outside started to get blown out, and I really like just hitting that little double. You don't even have to jump it. It's so small that your tires roll right over it, and then you can just kind of drift across to the left-hand side up that step up. So here we go into the tabletops along Wild Rat. To the right side, there's a track that's only open on race days called Wild Rat. I don't know if you guys had ever heard of that before, next to Aztec, but oh, DeeO, why don't you triple up that hill? Nobody triples up that hill anymore. There was one guy who did it all day on Saturday. It's not worth the risk and the effort you have to put into it. It's just as easy to double up and then skip off. So you can see here, much better. It wasn't like perfect or anything, but a much better line through that corner. I'm just trying to get my bearings and trust the rut, trust my bike, and just hammer down. So I'm not sure what else to say. I'll keep going through the whole video. I hate when people start talking in a video and then they're like, okay, the rest of it I'm just going to let run. That's about when I click off. But trying to cut a nice line, just slice through the apex of that corner after the finish line, and then drift far outside here because you can just kind of hug around that outside line, use it as a berm or a wall or whatever. Is this? Yeah, I hit a acceleration bump and it popped me pretty hard. You could kind of hear the bike rev out as I got into the air. There's that middle line, nice and smooth, not anything to write home about, but that's one thing I'm always trying to get better with the 4-stroke, the 450, is just kind of roll into a corner, roll on the throttle instead of slam it in there, hit the clutch, you know, pop it out of there. Just be nice and smooth. You don't go faster just because you sound faster. If you're revving the bike out, it doesn't mean you're getting anywhere any faster. You can be in third gear and just roll on the throttle and be way quicker. So you can see I really like that line, that inside, and then just push it out after the little double before the step up. This section was pretty one line, and there's a line you can see right in front of me. If you hit that, it just kind of sends you off the track. It got pushed out wider and wider and wider until that rut was absolutely worthless. So it was better to cut inside of that, kind of cut that corner a little bit. Not like I'm going off the track, not like a cheater line, but hitting more of the apex of the corner, the inside line of it, rather than going on that outside, because it doesn't set you up well for the next section. And this one, I've talked about it before, they built up that right hand side, that roller, they built it up a lot. It's really steep, you have to really slow down over it. So it's definitely advantageous to take that outside line and go around it. You can see my buddy Brandon, a different Brandon, I have a lot of buddies named Brandon, goofing around on the side there in the blue shirt, cheering me on a little bit. Even though this was just a practice day, he was done riding and just goofing around. You can kind of see there after the finish line tabletop, it was a little rough. You can see my bars shake a little bit, not really head shake, but they definitely bounce around some. And again, I realized this isn't a rough track by any means. What I started doing later in the day there was cutting down more so I didn't get to the outside of that sand, because it just got acceleration bumps. But during this little moto, I was not thinking enough to do that line. Got a little squirrely going up the face of that. I had to choke up, not exactly what I wanted to do. See what we got going on up here. That rut always pushes wide. You got to be really careful, because it's really easy to hit the side of that jump and get really sketchy real fast. You have to really cut it in and hold your line, because the rut is not going to help you at all there. So you can see he actually kind of blew that corner, and I decided that was my time to pull off and tell him good ride.
They're ripping, man.
There you go. So some pretty sweet laps. Again, I had a lot of fun. I know I didn't like catch up to him and pass him or anything, but he wasn't getting away from me, and I think I was making up a little bit of time. I think I was a little bit faster, I guess, through that step up through maybe this section, and he was faster on the other side of the track. But it kind of was a give and take. I'd feel like I was really close, and then he'd pull back away. But let the rest of this go, because it's just a little bit more, and then I pull off the track, I'm pretty sure. And there's a pretty funny part with Brandon coming up here, so I'll leave that in. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I know in the past a lot of people have wanted to have me talking over the real life riding, so definitely let me know what you thought about it. Coming around here, you can see old Brandon showing me his bare chest, so I do a little karate kick at him. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to smash that like button if you did enjoy this. I'll be sure to do more in the future. Nice little whip there. But thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, until next time, take it easy, and if it's easy, take it twice. And I'll talk to you guys later.
Take it twice.